The police called me during my Tuesday shift and calmly said the one sentence I never expected to hear. "Ma'am, we have your husband." For a moment, I completely froze. The office around me faded into silence, and all I could hear was my own heartbeat. My coffee slipped from my hand, splashing across my desk, but I didn't even notice. My husband, Ryan, had texted me less than an hour earlier saying he was driving to an important meeting. Everything had seemed perfectly normal. I asked the officer if Ryan was alive, but he simply replied, "Please come to the station. We'll explain everything here." Those words terrified me even more. The drive to the station felt endless. My mind jumped from one nightmare to another. Had he been in a terrible accident? Was he arrested? Had someone attacked him? Every traffic light felt like it was keeping me away from the truth. By the time I arrived, my hands were shaking so badly that I could barely open the car door. An officer quietly led me into a small interview room. Ryan was sitting there with a blanket wrapped around his shoulders. He looked exhausted, and there were fresh bruises on his face and arms. The second our eyes met, he stood up and pulled me into the tightest hug we'd ever shared. Neither of us spoke for several seconds because we were both trying not to cry. The officer finally explained what had happened. Ryan had stopped at a gas station after noticing an elderly man standing alone, looking confused and frightened. Just as Ryan walked over to help, two men suddenly tried to force the older man into a van. Without thinking twice, Ryan yelled for help, started recording the scene on his phone, and rushed toward them. The kidnappers shoved Ryan to the ground, grabbed his phone, and sped away before anyone could stop them. Thankfully, another driver witnessed everything and immediately called 911. Police officers located Ryan a few miles away. He was bruised, shaken, and missing his phone, but he was alive. Even better, the elderly man escaped safely because Ryan's actions gave him enough time to get away before officers arrived. As we left the station that evening, I couldn't stop holding Ryan's hand. I realized how quickly an ordinary Tuesday could become the day that changes your life forever. Courage isn't always about being fearless. Sometimes it's about choosing to help someone else, even when you know the risk. Looking back, I wasn't just grateful that my husband came home. I was proud that he was the kind of man who refused to walk away when someone desperately needed help. What would you have done if you had witnessed that situation?